phenomenal speaker. Let's at least get somebody who's really funny. They phoned that person. Person said no. So then, I don't know if you know this, but this organization is pretty much run by very powerful women. And so one of the women said, if we can't get the best-selling author who's a phenomenal speaker, if we can't get the guy who's really, really funny, at least let's get somebody who's really good-looking. They phoned that person. Grace said, I know exactly who to call. And they phoned that person, and they weren't available. So you want to know why I'm here today? I'm here today because I didn't have the heart to turn them down 4 times in a row. But this has been a phenomenal conference. This has been a phenomenal conference. You've heard from so many fabulous speakers, but it's not easy being the first speaker on the last day. I mean, you've heard from so many speakers that I feel a little bit like Elizabeth Taylor's 8th husband. Imagine following all of those people. Well, I feel like him. I mean, I know exactly what I have to do, but you've heard from so many speakers that I know exactly what to do, but I'm not sure how to make it interesting for you, just like this 8th husband. But I'm going to do my best. We are going to talk about some interesting things. I thought what I would do is just open up by telling you a little bit about my story. So I met Mark Victor Hansen. I had been on television somewhere, and I met Mark Victor Hansen, and Mark was a friend of mine. He had seen me on TV, and he told me that he could introduce me to his friend and his mentor, Mr. Bob Proctor. Let's put the slides up. So he told me that Bob had helped him make a lot of money, and that maybe if I got an introduction, Bob would be willing to help me make a lot of money. And so I was very interested in that. And so I went to a large convention the first time I had met Bob. I went to a large convention. There were thousands of people there. And I had with me a copy of my first book that I had just written. And I autographed the book like this. I said, Mark Victor Hansen told me that I should give my book to the most positive people in this city, and I hear you're one of them. And I put my phone number on there. This was 25 years ago. And now I want to talk to you about the power of a book today. The power of a book to separate yourself from everybody else who's in the room. And so I got a call from Bob Proctor the next day. And he invited me over to his house, and that meeting changed the course of my life. He asked me one question, and he made 2 statements that completely redirected my whole life. His first question to me was, or his main question to me was, what is the most amount of money you have ever made in a single year? Well, I'm Canadian. I'm not American. I'm Canadian, and so we don't talk about things like that. And so I was a little bit reluctant to tell him, but I was there to talk about money, and so I figured I would answer the question. And it was okay for me because I had had my best year